Benitez sacked over at Everton, and what the heck's gone on at Manchester United? We'll take a look at that and more next. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We're forward to match day number 23 over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe to keep bang up to all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski, Everton are free falling down to 16th in the table right now. Rafa, what's his name? Agent Rafa doing his bit. To send the blue up of the Mersey down. Of course, what's gone wrong at Manchester United? Well, they're in, 7th right now, and they look absolutely dog shit. And of course, what a welcome return for Coutinho over at Aston Villa. It all took place this past few days over the Premier League, and of course, we'll have a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs, they're the Patreons. Thank you for your love. And of course, make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the little bell, and also, if you want to help us out in the old Patreon regard, check out that link down below. So here we go then, of course, recap the games and the goals, and of course, that's the kind of stuff that did take place this past few days in the Premier League. So here we go. Let's turn the clock back to Southampton against Brentford. That ended up as a 4-1 win for the Saints. The Saints keep on marching at 12th of the table. Slowly but surely they're climbing. A lot of people had them to be struggling this season. Adam Armstrong, though, not scoring many goals. They want their money back. Everton against Leicester was postponed. Could have been a chance for Rafa to turn around there, but no. West Ham with the 2-0 win over Norwich. Of course, big win for West Ham. Spurs against Aston was postponed. Liverpool did take care of business against Brentford 3-0 win, and I went with the 3-0 win myself. Man City did beat Chelsea 3-2. I went with the 1-0 win myself. Brighton picked up a draw against Crystal Palace. And of course, this was the game that was the final nail. Norwich 2-1 winners over Everton. I went with the 1-0 win as well for Norwich. So hey ho, away I go. Of course, West Ham against Leeds. Well, we was a bit of a surprise there. 3-2 win going the other way for Leeds. Of course, them Freakazoids. Oh yes, them Freakazoids. Burnley could not muster a win because they didn't play against Leicester. Meanwhile, Aston Villa against Man Utd was the game of the day. 2-2 draw there. Wolves picked up a 3-1 win over Southampton. The relegation battle there, Newcastle against Watford, was a 1-1 draw. Goodness gracious me. That's, of course, my picks. Well, I'll look at your picks in a second. This is the table, though, as it stands. Man City lead the charge. They're running away with it. Of course, Liverpool, of course, in second spot. 2 points clear over Chelsea with a game in hand. West Ham, though, are in fourth, of course, at the moment. Of course, Arsenal, though, have a couple of games in hand on West Ham. Spurs are 4 games in hand on Spurs. If they win all 4, it's a big old ask, they could go to second in the Piston League. How mad is that? Goodness gracious me. Meanwhile, down at the table, Burnley going down. Come on then, Burnley. Get your ass down there. Of course, Newcastle still in trouble. And Norwich, big win for them as well. However, Norwich have played the most games out of those 3 sides. And Burnley have a whopping 4 games in hand on Norwich. They've not pushed the panic button just yet. But if they take the 2 games in hand that they have, that'd be 14, 17 points. They're still be in a bit of trouble. But of course, they've got to play what's in front of them. Anyway, let's kick it off forward. Take a look at the prediction league then, shall we? This is the prediction league for this week and this week alone. Take a bow. Rapscallion. Wow, what an impressive score there. 8 for him. Shepherd also up there with 6. Vincent Long up there for Max Sangali. Of course, Shakespeare's FC are great. D1 50 42. Hans Wurst, Barcelona Easter with 6. And of course, the Chasing Back. Big shout out to my patrons there, kicking ass and taking names. What about the old grand old scheme of things then, shall we? This is for the second half of the season only. Shepherd up there is doing well with 11. Vincent Long also at 11. And of course, the Chasing Pack as well. Now, this is, of course, for the second half of the season. The patrons can get access to the master leaderboard, albeit from Monday, I hope. I've been saying that. I've been trying to do it, but I've been busy. I just keep getting snowed in. Ooh, I could get snowed in tomorrow, and we'll see about that. But anyway, if you want to see the master leaderboard, become a patron. You'll get access to that data very, very soon, of course. If you also want to help out with the channel, I'm also looking for Avengers, team of Avengers. We call them Roverseas Avengers. If you want to help out making content, Premier League content, be a host, be someone in the back, be a producer, all that kind of stuff. I'm looking for people like that who want to get into content creation, and that could be you. So make sure you check that out. The best way to do that is, of course, follow me on Twitter, DM me directly, and we can start a chat that way, and then we'll have a little Zoom Zoom chat. And of course, I'll tell you about the bigger plan. I've got plans. This is my plan book right here, and it's bloody loaded. It's green. It does exist. It's right there, but it is a green book. It's actually a magic book. I'd love to show you, but it's invisible. But anyway, so I've got a plan full of ideas, but I need the help. I can't really give them the best quality unless I get the support, and the support could be you. Anyway, take a look at the next one. Sorry, that was of course the link. If you want to get involved with the Prediction League, that's the link right there. It's also down below in the chat. So let's get forward then. Of course, it is a bit of an extended match day, starting of course on Tuesday, the 18th of January, and it is. That's right. Burnley are locking horns against Watford in a must-win game for both these two sides to get themselves out of the woods. Of course, down at Turdmore, of course, Burnley 35 times they've played since 1994. 60 wins of Burnley, 10 wins of Watford, and 9 draws. Of course, Burnley haven't won in the last 6 at least. Anyway, 3 defeats on about 17% form against the Watford side, who haven't won in the last 8. Of course, however, picked up a draw last around 8% form for them as well. Last round over at Turdmore was a 1-0 win for Burnley. That's back in June 2020. Burnley have actually unbeaten against Watford in the last 3 games. Haven't conceded a goal against Watford in the last 3 games as well. Of course, Burnley did lose to Huddersfield last time around. Of course, Newcastle did draw with Watford last time around. Of course, that was just the other day. Look at the odds here. We have 65 on is your, of course, Burnley, 25 is your Watford, and 23.10 is your draw. Can't do it. I can't do it, pal. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw for this one, kids. I think that's probably a point in the bag for Watford. And of course, two missed points for Burnley on that one. Brighton up against Chelsea, of course, on the same match day. That's, of course, Tuesday. Let's hope these games go ahead because they are stacking up a little bit. Played 11 times, 2012, 1 for Brighton, 6 wins for Chelsea, and 4 draws. Just 1 defeat, about 6 games for Brighton, 67% form up against the Chelsea side. 1 defeat, about 6 as well, 67% form for them as well. Last round over at the Amex was a 3-1 win for Chelsea. That was, of course, back in September 2020. The home side hasn't won this game since Chelsea beat Brighton way back in 2019. It was a 2-0 win way back at Stamford Bridge. Brighton picked up a draw against Crystal Palace. Of course, Chelsea losing to Manchester City last time around. Look at the odds here. 4-1 on is your 4-1 is your Brighton. Of course, 7-10 or 10-7 on is your Chelsea, and 14-5 is your draw. Chelsea to win this one. 2-0 win on the road to keep their hopes of course, Champions League football and maybe even an outside push for the title alive. Leicester City up against Spurs. Could it finally take place? We'll have to see. Of course, played each other, according to my eyes, for 34 times since 1994. 14 wins apiece and 6 draws. Back-to-back wins for Leicester at the moment, 50% form up against the Spurs side, who just won once in 3 times, 58% form as well. Last round at the King Power. Is that right? It is. King Power's a 4-2 win for Spurs way back in May 2021. That was at the back end of last season. Of course, Spurs picking up a 1-0 loss against Chelsea last round. Of course, Leicester picking up a 4-1 win over Watford way back on the 8th of Jan in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, look at the odds on this one. This shall we have Spurs 5-4 for the victory. Of course, 21-10 is your Leicester, 5-2 is your. I can't go. It's tough deciding this one. I couldn't see. Of course, I think Spurs are a decent little team under Conte, but I think they're going to get found out. Not this time around, but maybe next time. Maybe they get next time around. I've gone with bloody Spurs on this one. 2-1 win on the road. I think I flipped and flopped this one. I might have went with Leicester originally. I changed my mind, but yeah, gone with Spurs. Just because I think they'll nick it with an away day form. Of course, Leicester not great at the moment either, but a big opportunity because Spurs need to win these games. Spurs need to win these games in hand and turn themselves into Champions League contenders. And of course, they'll do that if they do this one. And of course, pick something up against Chelsea. Then guess what? They're right in the thick of things. Anyway, kicking off forward, Brentford up against Manchester United. Now, Brentford at home are a different beast. And Manchester United, of course, were shitty, a little bit shitty, or a bit weak against Aston Villa last round. Anyway, played each other 1 time since 2021, and it was a draw last round at Old Trafford. It wasn't a draw at Old Trafford. It was a draw at Old Trafford, but it was a friendly, so it doesn't really count. Of course, Brentford coming into this back-to-back defeats for them. 33% form up against Manchester United, so just 1 defeat by 6 games, 67% form for them at the moment. Of course, Brentford did lose to Liverpool last round. They also lost to Southampton as well. They conceded 7 goals at the last 2 games. Meanwhile, Villa did draw with United last round. Of course, Man United did beat Villa in the FA Cup prior to that. Of course, look at the odds here. 7-2 is your Brentford, 4-3 on is your United, 11-4 is your draw. I think I've gone. I don't know what I've gone yet. I can't really remember. I think I might have even gone. No, I've gone with United. 2-1 win for them on the road. Yeah. I have been impressed with Brentford on occasion, but I just think Man United will have enough quality. And I think the fans will be raging for this one after their shit show against Villa, conceding a 2-goal lead there. So I think they'll bounce back accordingly here. We're in a big week for Manchester United. Next, of course, we have Crystal Palace. They're going to be taking on Liverpool. That's on Sunday, January the 23rd. Now, these two sides played according to my eyes around about how many times? 28 times in 94, 7 wins for Crystal Palace, 18 wins for Liverpool, and 3 draws. Just one defeat the past 4 games for Palace at the moment, 50% form up against the Liverpool side, who've just lost once at the past 6 games, 67% form for them as well. Last round over in Selhurst Park was a 7-0 win for Liverpool. In fact, they've won 5 of them out, 6 of them out against Palace, and in fact, the last 4 they haven't conceded a goal. They've scored 16 goals in the last 4 games against Palace in all competitions over the last 4 times. Liverpool picking up a 3-0 win over Brentford. In fact, back-to-back clean sheets for Liverpool. Palace picking up a draw against Brighton last round as well. Look at the odds here. 92 is your Palace score, 7-4 on Liverpool, and 3-1 is draw. They'll keep on fighting with Liverpool, but of course, 2-0 win for them and another clean sheet against Palace. Arsenal up against them. Freak as always. Let's get into this one now down at the Emirates. Of course, played 19 times 2008, 14 wins for Arsenal, 2 for Burnley, and 3 draws. Arsenal over that are in 3 now, 58% form up against the Burnley side, of course, who have lost 3 on their spin before this midweek game. Of course, coming at you last time out at the Emirates was a 1-0 win for Burnley. Goodness gracious me, that was back in December 2020. In fact, the home side has only won once of the last 6 games between these two sides. Was 2-1 win for Arsenal way back in August 2019. Of course, Arsenal did draw with Liverpool last round. It's actually been back-to-back games without scoring a goal for them. In fact, they've only scored 1 goal the last 3 games. Of course, Burnley picking up a loss as well against Huddersfield last time around. Look at the odds here. We have 94 on as your Arsenal. Of course, 10-3 is draw at 61 as your away win. That is Burnley. 3-0 win for Arsenal on this one to take to the house. Brentford will take on Wolves, of course, this weekend on the Saturday, January 22nd. Now these two sides play each other. Oh gosh, I pressed the wrong bloody button. Of course, Brentford taking on Wolves down at the Community Stadium. The place that caught my eyes 11 times since 2013. 5 was Wolves, 4 for Brentford, and we've got 2 draws. Back-to-back defeats for Brentford. Of course, there'll be 3 defeats on the mountain, including the Man United one up against the Wolves side, who've won unbeaten the last 5, picking up 4 wins in the past 5 games, 75% form for Wolves. Last time around over in Brentford was a 0-0 draw. That was back in August 2017. They also played this season at Molineux, a 2-0 win for Brentford. Of course, Brentford picking up a 3-0 loss against Liverpool. Wolves picking up a 3-1 win over Southampton. The odds on this one, 95 is your Brentford, 85 is your Wolves, and 21-10 is your draw. Slowly but surely, Wolves are grinding themselves out at a real season, but I think they'll fluff their lines here against Brentford. 1-0 win for them back at home. Kicking off forward, Chelsea up against Spurs then, shall we? Let's take a little look at this one down at Stamford Bridge. It's the Conte Derby, or the Mourinho Derby, of course, from way back when. Anyway, of course, 69 times the pleasure, 69-3, 38 wins for Chelsea, 10 wins for Spurs, and we've got 21 draws. Just one defeat past 6 games for Chelsea, 67% form for them. Up against the Spurs side, of course, lost twice the past 3 games. They've also played Chelsea not too long ago as well. Of course, they also played each other twice in quick succession. It'll be the 3rd time they play each other in January. They must be sick to the back teeth of them. In fact, Chelsea won 3 on the spin against Spurs and haven't conceded a goal against them as well. Of course, Chelsea picking up a 1-0 loss against Man City. In fact, Spurs' last game was against Chelsea way back on the 12th of January. They also play each other, though. They also play Leicester in the meantime to at least separate those mega games against Chelsea. Look at the odds on this one then, shall we? 11-8 on is your Chelsea, 7-2 is your Spurs, 11-4 is your draw. Have I seen anything that's going to spring some hope on this game for Spurs? No, I haven't. I've gone with a 2-1 for Chelsea to nick this one, despite picking up a cheeky win against Leicester last round. 2-1 for Chelsea at home, and of course that's 6 points this week to close in potentially on Manchester City. Let's take a look at Everton. Of course, we'll probably have a new manager, or at least a caretaker. Duncan Ferguson was caretaker last time around. Will he be caretaker this time around? Probably. 52 times the played since 1993, 30 wins for Everton, 20 wins for Villa, and 19 draws. Just 1 win in 5 for Everton at the moment, 42% form up against the Villa side. Also just 1 win in 6 for them, 25% form for them as well. That's Luna going nuts over there. Last time around, the picture at Goodison Park was a 2-1 win for Villa. That was back in May 2021. Villa unbeaten against Everton at the last 5 occasions, picking up 3 wins and 2 draws. Villa did lose to Norwich last time around. Everton lost to Norwich last time around. Villa picked up 2-2 draw against Manchester United last time around. Look at the odds here on this one then, shall we? We have Everton coming out at 85 with the victory, 70-10 is your Villa Park. Aston Villa and 94 is your draw. Going to go with a win for Aston Villa, a 2-1 win, even if it is up against Duncan Ferguson and or who else is linked? Potter, Dyche, who knows? And hopefully by the time this video goes live, they won't have made the decision. Anyway, Southampton up against Manchester City then, shall we? Of course, locking horns at St Mary's. And these two side players, according to my eyes, around about 35 times. 7 wins for Southampton, 20 wins for Man City, and we've got 8 draws. Just 1 defeat, about 6 for Southampton, and 67% form up against the City side, who have won the last 8. 100% form for them as well. Last time out at St Mary's was 1-0 win for City. However, they also played each other back in September. It was a 0-0 draw, of course. So Southampton picking up a draw It doesn't. It's not that good. It's not good a stat. I thought it was a better stat than I saw. Anyway, Southampton did lose to Wolves. That's around City pick up a 1-0 win over Chelsea last time around. Look at the odds here. 9-1 is your Southampton. 4-1 on. It's your City, and 5-1 is your bloody draw. Going to go with a win for Man City. A 2-0 win on the road, and of course closing in on another title. Watford up against Norwich in another must-win game. If Watford pick up a win against Burnley and also pick up a win against Norwich, guess what? They're right back in the thick of things here. Of course, the picture of the 30 times in 905, 60 wins for Watford, 10 wins for Norwich, and 4 draws. Of course, Watford without a win in 6 now, so 80%. In fact, haven't won in the last 8. Up against the Norwich side who won twice at the last 3 games, 33% form as well. Last round out at Vicarage Road was a 1-0 win for Watford. That's back in Boxing Day 2020. In fact, Watford have actually won 5 of the bouts against Norwich. Of course, they do like playing them, both home and away. Of course, Watford picking up a draw against Newcastle. Of course, Norwich picking up a 2-1 win over Everton last time around. Look at the odds here. 21-20 is your Watford. 5 is your draw. 5-2 is your Wayman. That's Norwich on this one. I think Watford will nick this one. 2-1 win for them to make it 4 points of a possible 6 as well. Kicking on forward is Leeds United up against Newcastle. Of course, been a little bit active in the transfer market recently, but can they add to that this week? Played 30 times at 903, 8 wins to Leeds, 30 wins to Newcastle, and 9 draws. Just won to beat past 3 games for Leeds, 33% form up against the Newcastle side, who haven't won the last 6 games. However, just won to beat past 3 though, 17% form over the last 6 games. Anyway, last time at Alamo was a 5-2 win for Leeds. That was back in December 2020. They also played the reverse fixture at St James's Park earlier in the campaign. It was a 1-1 draw as well. Leeds picked up a 3-2 win over West Ham, but a great result for them. Newcastle picking up a draw against Watford, which was a bit of a shitter for them as well. Look at the odds on this one. Now we are looking at the odds. Where are we at? 11-10 on is your Leeds, 11-4 is your Newcastle, and 13-5 is your Leeds are your favourites here. I'm going to give it to them as well. 2-0 win for them on the at home on this one. Leicester up against Brighton. Of course, down at the King Power Stadium. Big week for Leicester this week. 25 times for British since 2002. 30 wins for Leicester, 6 wins for Brighton. And we've got 6 draws. Of course, Leicester winning 2 on the bats. 50% form up against the Brighton side, who haven't lost in the last 5 games. 67% form for Brighton. Last round at the King Power between these two sides was a 4-2 win for Leicester. That was back in the EFL Cup this season, back in October. They also played each other at Brighton this season. It was a 2-1 win for Brighton way back in September. However, that's each other in the league. At the King Powers, a 3-0 win for Leicester way back in the 13th of December 2020. Of course, Watford did lose to Leicester in the Ranieri derby. That was in the FA Cup last time around for Leicester. Meanwhile, Brighton picked up a draw against Crystal Palace in the M23 derby last time around. Look at the odds on this one. We have 13-10 as your host, 9-4 is your draw, 20-10 is your Brighton. Going to go with Leicester here, 3-1 win for them. And of course, a bit of a dent in Brighton's hopes. And then finally, we have Manchester United against West Ham United on Saturday, January the 22nd. Now, these two sides play each other. According to my eyes, 60 times in 993, 36 wins for United, 9 wins for West Ham, and 15 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for United. I think it's the West Ham side have just lost once in the past 5 games as well. 67% form as well. Last round at where are we? At Old Trafford was in the EFL Cup this season. It was a 1-0 win for the Hammers. They also played each other in the Premier League in London. It was a 2-1 win for United. That was of course back in September as well. However, last time they played each other at Old Trafford in the league was way back in March 2021. It was a 1-0 win for United. Goodness gracious me. Of course, United picked up a draw against Villa. Of course, West Ham losing to Leeds last time around. Look at the odds on this one. 11-10 on is United. 11-4 is your draw, and 13-5 is your 13-5 is your draw, and 11-4 is your West Ham. Big week for United this week. West Ham, of course, are they in action elsewhere? I don't think so. Going to go with a win for United here. 6 points on the board for them, of course, to move the chains as well. That's my take on this week's action in the Premier League. Be sure to get involved as well. cut.4/Premier League to get your predictions for the show on this one. That's of course my take on it. Be sure to get your take in. Also, if you want to get your take in on a regular basis and become a guest on the show, we're looking for content creators, contributors. If you want to help and get your name in lights or appear on the show, let me know down below, of course, in the comment section. Or better still, go over to Twitter, smash me up on that way, and of course hit me up with a DM, and of course get chatting that way to get the party started. But that's it, of course. Until then, guys, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. I'll see you soon for the next one, of course, whenever that is. Until then, dudes, here's my book of hope, book of plans. Get involved. I'll see you soon for the next.